Good day, my dear 5th class students. Today I am going to teach you a lesson in English. Very famous person, famous mathematician. Before I come to that lesson, before I teach the lesson, I want to tell you that we have recorded more than 200 videos covering several subjects, all the way from LKG to 8th class. 9th class and 10th class we are having Zoom classes, and 8th class also we are having Zoom classes. Okay? Now, if you want to follow the video classes, you have to have the textbooks. Without textbooks, you cannot follow. Don't waste your time. Don't waste this academic year, this year. You have to get the books, then only you can follow what we are saying. Okay? So, this is very important that you get the books and talk to your parents, ask them to come here, come to the school, or buy the books outside, no matter where. I don't care. We don't care, but students have to have the books. Now, this also, I want to tell you, this is a long lesson, so I am going to read this lesson for today. A little bit I tell you about the lesson, and then we will do a detailed understanding of the lesson tomorrow. That is in part 2. Okay, the next lesson. That is part 2. Okay, so, and first I will read the lesson. It is Sudhana's practice that the student plus the teacher should read the lesson at least 7 times. The teacher reads the lesson 2 times, and the student the rest of the time he has to read. Unless you read the lesson number of times, it's very difficult for you to understand the lesson. Also, when you are reading the lesson, make sure you don't read for the sake of reading, for somebody's sake. When you completed reading one sentence and moving on to the next sentence, you have to understand the previous sentence. Then only you move to the next sentence. Are you able to follow what I am saying? Do you understand? Do you understand, guys? Okay. Very good. So, don't read just for the sake of just continuously reading. But when you read one sentence, that sentence, when it is completed, you should know the meaning. Then only you pause for a second or a few seconds, make sure that you understand the sentence, then you move on to the next sentence. In this lesson, we are going to talk about a child prodigy. Prodigy is like a very genius, very, very intelligent person. We call it as a prodigy. P-R-O-D-I-G-Y. 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 Yeah, here I wrote that. Prodigy. He is like a very intelligent person. I need to have more there. So, his name is Ramanujan. He is a very famous mathematician. He is very good in mathematics. He is worldwide known. మన ఇండియాలోనే కాదు, అర్థమైందా? ప్రపంచం మొత్తం మీద ఆయన చాలా పేరు కలిగినటువంటి వ్యక్తి. ఎవరు? రామానుజన్. So we are going to learn about the Ramanujan in this lesson. He is called a child prodigy. Prodigy means very intelligent, you are like a genius. So that kind of person you call it as prodigy. You don't call very intelligent person as a prodigy, but a person with extraordinary knowledge, cleverness, and that person is called prodigy, P-R-O-D-I-G-Y. So I am going to read this lesson. This is almost like 4 pages, okay? So I want to read the lesson and observe how I am reading it. It is very important you pick up the pronunciation, how I am saying the words. That is important. Okay? Simultaneously, I will try to tell you the meaning. Okay? But in the next class, it will be a very detailed explanation. Okay? Understand? Okay. A child prodigy. The arithmetic class was in progress. Arithmetic and letter. So the name of the person is Ramanujan. Ramanujan, he is called as this lesson name is Child Prodigy because he is a person with extraordinary, he is like a genius. That's why he is called as Prodigy. Now, I am going to read the lesson like I told earlier. There are 4 pages. It will take some time. I will read it. Make sure that you follow the pronunciation. Okay? This is page number 20. You can see the class teacher and the student and the class teacher explaining something. The next page, of course, you can see the famous person, Mr. Ramanujan. Okay? Alright, let me move on. The arithmetic class was in progress. The teacher was solving questions on division. You know, multiplication. What are the fundamental mathematical operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Today, the teacher is teaching about division. On the blackboard were drawn 3 bananas. We have 3 bananas, the teacher said, and we have 3 boys. Can you tell me how many each will get? A smart boy in the front row replied, each will get 1. A smart boy, okay. Right, the teacher said. Now similarly, if 1,000 bananas are there, distributed among 1,000 boys, each will get 1. Isn't that so? While the teacher was explaining, a boy sitting in one corner raised his hand and stood up. The teacher stopped and waited for the boy to speak. Matma teacher there are 3 bananas and 3 boys, so each one got 1. Then he talked about there are 1,000 boys and 1,000 bananas. So what each one will get? Each one will get 1. Then the teacher, when the teacher was explaining, there is a boy in the corner. He raised his hand. So this teacher stopped and waited for the boy to speak. Okay. Now, sir, the boy asked, if no banana is distributed among no one, will everyone will get 1 banana? If no banana is distributed among no one, will everyone will still get 1 banana? There was a roar of laughter in the class. What a silly question you asked. Quiet, the teacher said loudly and thumped the dust. Thumped the dust in the area. There is nothing to laugh at. I will just explain what he means to say. For the division of banana, we divided 3 by 3, saying that each boy will get 1 banana. Similarly, we divided 1,000 by 1,000 to get 1. What he is asking is that if 0 banana is divided if 0 banana is divided among 0, will each one will get 1. Okay? 3 bananas by 3 boys, 3 by 3 kottiste 1 vachindi. 1,000 bananas, 1,000 boys aithe 1,000 by 1,000 kottiste 1 vachindi. Mari no bananas divided by no students aithe appudu kuda 1 vastada ani adigaru. That is the one he asked. That's how he developed. He is the author for 0 by 0 in confidently. Appudu andaru pillandaru navite teacher arthamaindi how smart this boy is. So he tried to explain to the rest of the group. The answer is no. Mathematically, each will get an infinite number of bananas. Everyone laughed again. The boys understood the trick arithmetic had played upon them. What they could not understand was why the teacher later complimented the boy who had asked that absurd question. క్వశ్చన్ అని ఉండాలి. ఓకే. సో టీచరు తర్వాత ఏమో అబ్బాయినేమో కాంప్లిమెంట్ అంటే చాలా చక్కగా చాలా మంచి ప్రశ్న ఇస్తామని అటువంటి మంచిగా చెప్పాడు. అందరికి ఎవరికి అర్థం కాదు ఎందుకు అలా చెప్పాడని. ద బాయ్ హూ ఆస్క్డ్ ది ఇంట్రిగ్యూయింగ్ క్వశ్చన్ వాజ్ శ్రీనివాస రామానుజన్. అతను ఎవరు అడిగిన ఆ స్పెషల్ క్వశ్చన్ కష్టమైన క్వశ్చన్ని ఇంట్రిగ్యూయింగ్ క్వశ్చన్ని అడిగింది ఎవరు? శ్రీనివాస రామానుజన్. త్రూఅవుట్ హిజ్ లైఫ్, వెదర్ ఇన్ హిజ్ నేటివ్ కుంభకోణం ఆర్ కేంబ్రిడ్జ్, he was always ahead of his mathematics teacher. అది ఎప్పుడు కూడాను ఎక్కడ కుంభకోణంలో చదివినప్పుడు అక్కడ తర్వాత మా కేంబ్రిడ్జ్లో యూకే యునైటెడ్ కింగ్డమ్ అంటే ఇంగ్లాండ్ అంటాం చూసారా, అక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి కేంబ్రిడ్జ్ చదివినప్పుడు కూడా హీఈస్ ఆల్వేజ్ అహెడ్ ఆఫ్ ది టీచర్ కింద వాడికే ముందుగా ఉండేవాడు. Ramanujan was born on December 22nd, 1887 in a small village, Erode in Tamil Nadu. His father, Kuppuswamy Srinivasa Iyengar, was a petty clerk in a cloth shop. Petty clerk అంటే చిన్న పద్దులు రాస్తారు, బట్టల దుకాణంలోని ఒక మూడు కూర్చొని డస్ట్ పెట్టుకొని పద్దులు రాస్తారు, అలాంటి petty clerk అన్నమాట. దాన్ని అతనేమో petty clerk అంటారు. The family's poor economic condition made it difficult to bring up one child. Is the name, but family difficult condition. Family is very poor, so it became very difficult to raise Ramanujan. Ramanujan was admitted to the local primary school. The most intelligent boy in the class, his mastery over mathematics was unmatched. Everki aa తెలివితేటలు ఉండి కాదు mathematics లోని. He could do mental calculation very quickly. చాలా క్విక్గా చేసేవాడట. Ramanujan was a child prodigy. చిన్నప్పుడే వాడు చాలా తెలివైన వాడు అనమాట. After school hours, when other children would be playing, he would be busy with his slate and chalk. అందరూ మిగతా పిల్లలందరూ ఆడుకుంటుంటే స్కూల్ అవర్స్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత he would be busy with his slate and chalk. Slate పలకన్ను చుట్టుముట్టుతుంది. In Ramanujan's neighborhood lived a college boy. అక్కడ కాలేజ్ బాయ్ ఉన్నాడు. Ramanujan once asked him for his mathematics textbook ni అడిగాడట. The boy gave the book but wondered why a school student needed a college book. Then వీడి స్కూల్లో స్టూడెంట్ నేను వాడు కాలేజ్ బుక్ ఎందుకు అడిగాను అని కొంచెం డౌట్ వచ్చింది. Later he was surprised to know Ramanujan had solved all the sums in the book. ఆ పుస్తకంలో లెక్కలన్నీ చేశాడట. తెలిసి then onwards, whenever he faced a difficulty in mathematics, he would consult Ramanujan. In 1903, at the age of 16, he appeared for the matriculation examination. He scored a first class in mathematics and was awarded a scholarship. Even in college, he was engrossed in mathematics and ignored other subjects. చాలా వరకు మ్యాథమెటిక్స్లోనే లీనమైపోయేవాడు, అదర్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ని ఇగ్నోర్ చేసేవాడు. As a result, he scored full marks in mathematics and failed in the other subjects. Other subjectsలో ఫెయిల్ అయిపోయాడు. His scholarship was discontinued. ఫెయిల్ అవ్వాలి ఇవ్వాలి కదా. Thus, in 1906, his formal education came to an end. మరి అతను ఏమైంది? ఫార్మల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అయిపోయింది. మరి స్కూల్కి వెళ్ళలేదు, స్కాలర్షిప్ లేదు, తల్లిదండ్రులు చాలా భేదవాళ్ళు, అందుగురించి అయిపోయిందట. His father was worried about Ramanujan's obsession with mathematics. Obsession అంటే చాలా హెచ్చుగా ఒకే దాని గురించి ఆలోచించడం ఎప్పుడు. అది father was worried. He found his son always with scribbling numbers and not doing much else. He thought Ramanujan had gone mad. ఆ తండ్రి ఏమనుకున్నాడు, ఎప్పుడు చూసినా వీడు స్క్రిబిలింగ్ నంబర్స్ పలక మీద రాయడం అలా చేస్తున్నాడు. సో మేబీ Ramanujan gone mad ఏమో, పిచ్చెక్కిపోయాడేమో అనుకున్నారు. To set him right, he forced his son to marry. మరి ఆ చేయడానికి ఒక అమ్మాయిని పూర్వకాలం అనేవారు, పెళ్లి చేస్తే పిచ్చి వదులుతుందని. సో he got his son to marry. The girl chosen was 80-year-old జానకి. అమ్మాయికి అప్పుడు పెళ్ళి ఎంత, మా జానకి వయసు అంతా 8 సంవత్సరాలు. అప్పుడు చైల్డ్ మ్యారేజ్ అయ్యేది. Ramanujan began to look for a job. Then because his father is not in a position to get him educated, he cannot study, so he failed in the school. So he has to find a job. He has to find out, find not only for bread, but for papers as well to do his calculations. అతను భోజనం చేయడానికి బ్రెడ్ కొనడమే కాకుండాను తన లెక్కలు చేయడానికి కాగితాలు కావాలి కదా, దానికి కూడా డబ్బు కూడా చేసేవాడట. ఈ నీడెడ్ అబౌట్ 2000 sheets of paper every month. ప్రతి నెలకి ఎన్ని పేజీలు? 2000 పేపర్లు కావాల్సి వచ్చేవట. Sometimes he used a red pen to write with what was written in blue ink on the piece of paper which he had picked up. ఇంతకుముందు మంతమా వేసేవాడు. సమ్టైమ్స్ డబ్బులు లేక, పేపర్ లేక ఒకసారి ముందు బ్లూ ఇంక్తో రాసేవాడు, దాని మీదే మళ్ళీ రెడ్ ఇంక్తో చేసేవాడట. He visited many offices, showing everyone his sprayed notebooks and telling them that he knew mathematics. ఆ పుస్తకాలన్నీ చూపించాడట, he knew mathematics, but no one could understand what was written in the notebook, and his application for all jobs were all turned down. అప్పుడు అప్లికేషన్ ఎక్కడికి అప్లికేషన్ పెట్టినా దే ఆర్ ఆల్ టర్న్ డౌన్ అంటే వాళ్ళకి ఉద్యోగం ఇవ్వలేదట. At last, Francis Spring, the director of Madras Port Trust, was impressed by his notebooks, and he gave Ramanujan a clerical job and a monthly salary of ₹25. అప్పుడు ఆ రోజుల్లో ఎంత? నెలకి జీతం అంతా ₹25. అది ఎవరిది? ఫ్రాన్సిస్ స్ప్రింగ్ అని ఒక ఫారినర్. He was impressed. He was the director of the Madras Port Trust. He was impressed by his notebook, and he gave Ramanujan a clerical job and a monthly salary of ₹25. On May 1st, 1913, he got a monthly scholarship from Chennai University to continue his research in mathematics, though he had no qualifying degree. But degree లేదు, ఆ స్టూడెంట్ సరిగ్గా తీసుకొని ఫెయిల్ అయిపోయాడు. అయినా చెన్నై యూనివర్సిటీ వాళ్ళు అతనికి స్కాలర్షిప్ ఇచ్చారట. ఇన్ దోస్ డేస్ ఇంగ్లాండ్ వాజ్ కన్సిడర్డ్ ది సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ మ్యాథమెటిక్స్. ఆ రోజుల్లో మ్యాథమెటిక్స్కి ఇంగ్లాండ్ సెంటర్గా ఉండేది. Ramanujan sent his 120 theorems and formulae to renowned mathematician Professor Godfrey H. Hardy, a fellow of the Trinity College of Cambridge University. Cambridge University ఉన్నటువంటి ట్రినిటీ కాలేజ్ అక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి ఓ ప్రొఫెసర్కి గాడ్ఫ్రే హార్డీ అతనికి తన యొక్క 120 థియరమ్స్ ఫార్ములా అవన్నీ పంపించాడు. ప్రొఫెసర్ హార్డీ, who realized the brilliance of Ramanujan, made an arrangement to visit England. అప్పుడు వెంటనే ఆయన ఇచ్చాడు ఇంగ్లాండ్కి ఒక విజిట్ చేయడానికి ఒక అవకాశం, ఒక అరేంజ్మెంట్ చేశాడు. Hardy had taken the responsibility of Ramanujan's travel and stay in England. Hardy ఇచ్చాడు, నేను ఏం బాధలేదు, నువ్వు ప్రయాణానికి ఖర్చులు, ఇంగ్లాండ్లో ఉండడానికి ఖర్చులు అని కూడా నేనే భరిస్తాను అన్నాడు. He reached England on April 17, 1914 and undertook systematic study and research. Hardy saw in him a brilliant mathematician. Ramanujan found it difficult to withstand harsh cold, food habits, feeling lonely. He cooked his own food. Sometimes he neglected to take food properly. Only due to the professor's care and concern, Ramanujan was able to stay in England for 5 years. ఇంగ్లాండ్లోనే 5 సంవత్సరాలు ఉన్నాడట. కానీ వీరికి ఏంటి అక్కడ చలి తట్టుకోలేకపోయేవాడు. తర్వాత భోజనానికి ఇండియన్ ఫుడ్ భోజనం. రామానుజన్ ఐ థింక్ ఈజ్ కమ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ మా బ్రాహ్మణ్ ఫ్యామిలీ, ఈజ్ అ నాన్ వెజిటేరియన్, సో ఇట్ ఈస్ డిఫికల్ట్ ఫర్ హిమ్. హీ హ్యాస్ టు కుక్ హిజ్ ఓన్ ఫుడ్. Some time later, Hardy wrote a letter to Chennai University stating that Ramanujan was indeed a great Indian mathematician and he had never met such a genius. Hardy had said, Chennai University said, we never met a person like that, he is a genius. After receiving his letter of appreciation, Chennai University extended Ramanujan's scholarship from 2 years to 5 years till March 1919. అంతవరకు ఆయనకు వచ్చిన స్కాలర్షిప్ని ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేశారట. ఓన్లీ ఏ మెట్రికులేట్ ఆ రోజుల్లో మెట్రికులేట్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎస్ఎస్సీ లాంటి ఈక్వల్. రామానుజన్ వాజ్ కాన్ఫర్డ్ ది బిఏ డిగ్రీ ఇన్ 1916. అతనికి 1916లో బిఏ డిగ్రీ ఇచ్చారు, బట్ హీఈస్ ఓన్లీ ఏ మెట్రికులేట్. డ్యూరింగ్ హిస్ 5 years stay in England, 25 of his research papers were published. 25 papers published. This had made him popular in the world of mathematics. Ramanujan was considered one of the greatest mathematicians of that time. He was considered as the greatest mathematician of that time. In October 1918, London's Royal Society made him a fellow. Fellow of the Royal Society-లో fellow అంటే చాలా 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 కష్టం. వాళ్ళు చేశారు. ఏమన్నారు? In October 1918, London's Royal Society made him a fellow. అదొక honor దానికి. He was the second Indian to receive this honor. In 1917, Ramanujan fell ill and was hospitalized due to tuberculosis, kshayavyadi valla. But later, it was believed that due to lack of proper nutrition and deficiency of vitamins, he has fallen seriously ill and became very weak. ఏంటి సరైన ఫుడ్ తినేవాడు, న్యూట్రిషన్ లేక, డెఫిషియన్సీ ఆఫ్ వైటమిన్స్ లేక అతను he has become very weak. He was bedridden for many days. Then the doctors advised him to return to India. నువ్వు ఇంటికి వెళ్ళిపోవయ్యా, ఇక్కడ బాగాలేదు నీకు అని అన్నారు. Finally, in March 1919, he returned to India. Despite being treated by doctors, he met with an untimely death within a year on April 26, 1920 at Kumbakonam చనిపోయాడు. A bright star set suddenly on the horizon. అప్పుడు వెంటనే ఒక స్టారు set suddenly on the horizon. He was only 32 years old then. అమ్మా నాయన, 32 years old అప్పుడే చనిపోయాడట. He was recognized by the mathematicians as a phenomenal genius. He is like a genius. Mamoro was a phenomenal genius. His research in mathematics, which he noted down in 3 thick notebooks, is still known as Ramanujan notebooks. Right? So that completes the lesson. A Child Prodigy. This whole thing, the whole lesson is about Ramanujan, Srinivasan Ramanujan, and he was born in Erode, Tamil Nadu. His father was Kuppuswamy Srinivas Iyengar, and he was a petty clerk in a class shop. Okay, he was a mathematical genius. So first thing is, in the beginning, what happened is the teacher was telling in the mathematics class, if there are 3 bananas and 3 students, how many each student will get? Then somebody said 1 each. Okay, that's good. Then suppose there are 1,000 bananas and 1,000 students, how many each one will get? Then somebody said 1. Okay, good. Then somebody from the corner of the class, he asked, if no bananas are there, if nobody is there, how many each one will get? Then everybody laughed at him. Then the teacher understood, my goodness, this guy is a genius. The question is a very, very interesting question. That means you would say, when you divide by 0, what do you get? It's like a infinity. Okay? So, according to that, everybody should get a lot of bananas. Man, you cannot count them. So, it's not the case. So, anyway, that is his intelligence in mathematics. Okay? Now, what happened at that time? Students thought that's an absurd question, but the teacher told he has very good intelligence in mathematics. So the boy, like I said, he was born in a very poor family, and Ramanujan always had interest in mathematics, and while he is studying in the high school, he used to solve the problems in the college textbook. But anyhow, he was so much interested in mathematics. That's an obsession, too much interest. And he ignored all the other subjects, so he did not get enough marks in the other subjects. Even though he scored all the full marks in mathematics, but he could not score any marks in the other subjects. So he failed. So what does he do? He cannot study anymore. His family is very poor. Then he started working, and then he worked at a couple of other places. Finally, when one professor Adi recognized about his talent in mathematics, and then he, with his own expenses for the travel as well as his stay in England, he took care of that, and oh, excuse me, Professor Hardy took care of that, and Ramanujan went there. He published some papers, and the severe cold there, and also he had to cook his own food. He's a vegetarian, so he did not eat well, so he became sick, and finally he was suffering from tuberculosis, and he came back to India, and meanwhile the Professor Hardy wrote to the Chennai University about his intelligence. They extended his scholarship, but Ramanujan is still very weak and his health is deteriorating. So finally what happened, and what today is that? Finally, right. Untimely death on April 26, 1920 in Kumbakonam. At that time, he is only 32 years old. Very, 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 very sorrowful. He wrote several books, actually 3 thick notebooks. They are called Ramanujan's notebooks. So that completes the lesson. So guys, you have to read the lesson number of times, and I think I explained the meaning of each and every sentence. Tomorrow, maybe I will take only half an hour and read the sentence again and explain the meaning, and that's the end of it, okay? Then we will move on to another lesson, okay? Thank you. I hope you understood. If you like it, you can sponsor or you can recommend it to somebody else, and I am very happy that I had the opportunity to teach you guys about the famous mathematician. India is proud of Ramanujan, Srinivas Ramanujan. Okay? Thank you.